you seen any documents like that at Microsoft, prepared by Microsoft employees?
I believe I have, yes.
Do you know who prepared them?
No.
Was Netscape the first company to market a web browser that gained widespread consumer usage?
I think Mosaic was the first browser. I don't know what your criteria you're applying in terms of widespread. Mosaic was the first popular browser, and that predates the existence of Netscape or their browser.
Did Netscape's browser supplant the Mosaic browser as the most popular one?
There was a point in time when Netscape browser became more popular in terms of usage share than Mosaic.
Recall when that was?
I'm sorry?
Do you recall when that was?
No. I don't think anybody knows exactly when that was.
I'd like to mark as Exhibit 340, 341, excuse me, I'd like to mark as Exhibit 341. Series of emails, the first one being from Pat Ferrell, F-E-R-R-E-L, to Bill Gates and others, dated April 6, 1995. No, it's fine. I hand you Exhibit 341, Mr. Gates, and this is a series of emails, and the one I want to ask you about is the one on the second page from Mr. Siegelman to yourself and others, dated April 6, 1995. I'll take a minute and take a look at it. Did you finish reviewing the email?
I looked at it.
The email starts off as follows, quote, Pat Farrell and I have been thinking about this problem a lot and watching Netscape very, very closely. I, too, am very worried. What position did Mr. Farrell hold at Microsoft about April of 1995?
He wasn't involved with Windows. He was involved with Marble.
Is he still a Microsoft employee?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Do you recall personally being worried about Netscape in or about April of 1995?
No.
Do you recall discussing Netscape with Mr. Siegelman in this time period?
I'm sure Russ and I discussed the effect of the internet in general on online service strategies like the work he was doing that became MSN, but not Netscape in particular, no.
The next sentence of the email says, quote, "I agree with most of your problem statement, but I think you underestimate the publisher/ISV threat. Netscape is already opening up API hooks in their viewer, and many ISVs are hopping aboard." Do you know what his reference is to your problem statement?
No.
You understand what he means here when he talks about opening up API hooks and many ISVs hopping aboard?
I don't know what he meant. I can guess if you want.
Do you have any understanding as you sit here what he meant by the language used in this email?
I don't know what he meant. I'd have to ask him what he meant.
I'm asking for your understanding. Do you have one or not?
Understanding of what? Of what he meant?
Yes.
No. Of what those words might mean? I can guess.
I don't want you to guess. I'm asking if you have any present understanding of what these words mean.
I told you I don't know who he means by you. I don't know what he means by problem statement. So I'm a little unclear about what he means in this paragraph.
By ISV, do you understand him to be referring to independent software vendors?
That acronym refers to independent software vendor.
What does the acronym API refer to?
Application Programming Interface. Interface.
You recall yourself having a concern in about April 1995 about the possibility that Netscape was going to open up API hooks in the Netscape web browser.
I can't pin any recollection to that particular time period, no.
Did you at some point come to the conclusion that the prospect that Netscape might open up API hooks in their browser was a threat to Microsoft?
I think in late 95, Andreessen was talking about how he was going to put us out of business, suggesting that their browser was a platform. And in fact, they did have APIs in their browser.
Do you recall having any concern yourself before late 1995 with respect to the threat posed by Netscape opening up API hooks in their browser?
No.
Do you recall that other folks at Microsoft had such concerns before late 1995?
It's hard to recall other people's concerns. I don't recall other people's concerns.
I'd like to mark as Exhibit 342 series of emails, the first one being from Nathan Meervold to Mr. Gates, dated April 24, 1995. Before you take a look at that document that's in front of you now, which is Exhibit 342, Mr. Gates, do you recall that there was a general discussion in Microsoft at the top executive level in or about April 1995 with respect to the threat to Microsoft posed by Netscape?
No.